The next poem that we will do is Evolution by Alexie Sherman. As I told you, Alexie Sherman was a Native American poet, and Native Americans were called Indians also. But there's a mention of a buffalo in this poem. So we need to understand who was Buffalo. Buffalo Bill is a person who was nicknamed as Buffalo, but his real name was William F. Cody, Cody, William F. Cody, who existed between 1846 to 1917. He is an historical figure, an icon, now synonymous with American West, famous for exploiting Native Americans. So the theme remains the same, that the colonizers, they called the Native Americans savages, barbarians, uncivilized, and a rustic society. And they, although they called the Native Americans by these names, but and they called themselves progressive, and they called the Native Americans as wild and uncivilized and rustic, but then they wanted to collect all their native things or all their cultural things, because they knew that they belonged to a culture that was very rich at a point of time. So they appear to be, their strategy is such, they appear to be the protectors of the Indians, they appear to be giving them money, they appear to be giving them rights, but ultimately they were indirectly exploiting them. So here also we find that there is a uh, theatrical kind of a presentation here, where the character of Buffalo, who is a white person, has got a pawn shop. pawn shop होता है जहाँ पे गिरवी रखते हैं सामान, जब पैसा नहीं होता गिरवी अपना सामान रखते हैं और पैसा लेते हैं थोड़ा सा. It is not even like selling, it's just keeping things. But after a while, if the person is not able to return the money, then the thing that has been kept, that becomes the possession of the owner. So वो ऐसे ही pawn shop का एक मालिक है, white person, Buffalo. और ये दुकान उसकी कहाँ पर है, पॉन शॉप कहाँ पर है, ऑन द रिजर्वेशन, द एरिया और द लैंड हेल्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट फॉर द नेटिव अमेरिकन civilization. They used to capture Native Americans, they used to keep them there as if they were prisoners, and they transformed the tribal Americans or the original natives called the Indians into civilized people, and they thought that it's our duty to civilize them and teach them our own ways. They did not want that the Americans should keep their identity. So this kind of pawn shop is placed exactly adjacent or opposite to the liquor store, which keeps functioning 24 by 7. So this is their modus operandi, that they want to turn the whole population into alcoholics and druggists and drug seekers or drug addicts and all that, so that they would not be able to think for themselves, they would give away their land, they would not be able to reclaim anything, they would not become intellectuals, they would remain illiterate and all that. So red Indians or natives are living in such a condition that for liquor consumption, for an urge for alcohol or addiction, they even sell the very basic of their items. The cultural items are also kept at the pawn shop for money, because they need money to consume alcohol. Their outfits, their clothing, their utensils, all these things that are symbolic of their cultural heritage, they are keeping there at the pawn shop and getting some money so that they could drink alcohol. Another character is there named Inez Muse, who is a red Indian, and his life is in this manner carried, like he carried his life on for 12 years in this manner by selling things that were there at his home. Then he probably died or got finished, he had nothing was left with him and he perished. So we find that Buffalo is presumably and ironically a very kind fellow, but ultimately he is an abuser or exploiter. He takes away everything to lend money to these people and keeps everything in his storage room. Later on, hyperbole, irony, they are used here. Buffalo takes everything from the Native Americans called Indians, and in return, he gives them little money for liquor. When these people have exchanged everything at their home, then Buffalo changes the name of the shop from pawn shop, and he puts another board where he writes the Museum of Native American Cultures. And now he charges the visitors who come to see the museum, he charges those people, and he's earning. Like earlier he took away all these things and gave them alcohol so that they would turn into non-existent people, and now he has made a museum with the cultural things that he has collected from them. They were precious things, but he gave them meager money to consume alcohol. Therefore, he charges people to visit inside the museum, and the charge is $5 per person. This is mentioned in the poem. So, the heritage and culture of the colonized is strategically attacked and reduced to nothing by the colonizers. And this is a conspiracy that they carry on that is not immediately understood, but that can be understood after a while. So, this is the strategy, or this is the cunning plan of the colonizers that Sherman Alexie has revealed. So here, Buffalo Bill has been compared to the other colonizing heroes of the Western culture, especially those who circulated a dominant ideology as their role in enhancing domination. His way of doing things is exactly the same as other, like all colonizers do to the colonized or the exploited class of people. So the poem is like this: Buffalo Bill opens a pawn shop on the reservation right across the border from the liquor store, and he stays open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the Indians come running in with jewelry, television sets, VCR, a full length beaded buckskin outfit, that is their cultural outfit or clothing. It took Inez Muse 12 years to finish. Like in 12 years, 12, 15 years, they might be perishing, these people, by doing this. Buffalo Bill takes everything the Indians have to offer, keeps it all catalogs and filled in a storage room. The Indians pawn their hands, saving the thumbs for the last. They pawn their skeletons, falling endlessly from the skin. So they have become so weak, they have become so thin, they have nothing to eat, that their skeletons are falling from their skin. Now, this is the pathetic condition. Although this is hyperbole which is used here, but then it reflects the real condition of these poor people. And when and it is hyperbole here also, like they are selling away even their bodies, their fingers. They are keeping thumbs for the last. They are like giving away everything, not only their belongings, but it's like selling away their kidney to drink or alcohol. This is the condition of the people, and they have pawned away everything but his heart. Buffalo Bill takes that for $20. This is the meager amount that he gives. Closes up the pawn shop, paints a new sign over the old, call his venture the Museum of Native American Cultures, charges the Indians $5 a head to enter. This is what the story, strategy, manipulation, modus operandi of the Westerner colonizers is there, that has been exposed by poet persona.